All right. Hi.
Let's start with housekeeping. Make sure that we've got good audio and video. Everybody can hear us okay?
Yep. I don't see anybody like in yet. I see some people in the chat, but I don't see anybody actually like see where the eyeball is at the top. I see that's still saying 0. Oh, there we go. Okay.
It takes a second.
Okay. All right. So, Monica Thompson, do you have a simple recipe for buttercream icing? I use Swiss buttercream, and so I think it's simple, but it is an extra step of you have to make the you have to use a double boiler or something like that to make the egg whites and sugar mixture. That's the most reliable buttercream that isn't overly sweet. As far as a really simple buttercream icing goes, though, on my website, I'm trying to remember the recipe. There is one for, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. It's a cooked, that might not be simple enough either. Ermine buttercream. And I used it on something and I don't remember what. I also have another recipe that was a really weird thing that I made up, and it's in a banana swirl bread with cinnamon buttercream. You can have a look at those. Obviously, you don't have to do the cinnamon part in the buttercream. You could just make it plain. But as far as just a plain old American buttercream vanilla, I don't, because I never make it. But it's not a bad idea to get on the website. So thanks for that. Okay. Hi, Joe. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Wendy. Wendy's got a new beagle, a rescue, Apiquel. Why do I know that?
Because that's what George saw. I answered. If you look down below here, I answered her on the salt and pepper just from here.
Oh, Wendy, yes. The Apiquel is a miracle. Yes. Okay. Hi, Betty. How are you? And hi. And so Jeff answered as me. Okay. So that's why I acted like I didn't know what I was talking about because I didn't know he answered. So when he answered, it just went in as me. He doesn't usually do that though. So if you see the Salt and Pepper answering you on Facebook, it is me. It is me. Hey, Kat, how are you? So I made oh my gosh, you had COVID. I'm so sorry. I made the chicken riggies again. I made them several times because I tested them and I was going to send it to you and I just sort of ran out of time and I needed to get the video done because we want it to come out next week because I haven't done a foodie recipe in a million years and everyone's asking for them. So I wanted that one to come out pretty quick. So I put some other things on the back burner and I did that one. I think it turned out really well. I cannot remember though if I used cream cheese on Tasty Tuesday, but I did not use it in the final recipe. Okay, there we go. Hi, John. Good morning. How are you? I'm going to update on our trip to Australia in just a minute. I'm going to tell everybody about it because I don't know that everybody actually knows. Hi, Melba. Hi, Larry. Oh, hot. It's hot here too, Larry. Definitely. All right. Weather. Hi, Craig. How are you? I think I said hi, Dawn, but just in case. Hi, Juliet. How are you? Juliet, the combi. You got to move your thing so I can read it. Okay. I hope I can master it. The Ninja 5-in-1 indoor grill is so easy peasy, except for cleaning the grill part. Yes, I cannot stand that. The combi is more complicated. I'm just going to put that right out there. And I'm still getting familiar with it. It is lovely as soon as you know what function to use for what. But I highly encourage you to join our combi group if you haven't already. And I do plan on putting out a series of videos pretty soon. They may be in the group. They may be on YouTube. I have not decided yet. It just depends on where I think people will want to view them and start to go through the things, the different functions, because I've been finding out a lot. I've been testing a lot of recipes in the combi because I'm writing a cookbook for it. So I've been doing a lot of work with the combi, and I am sometimes just as confused as anyone else because I feel like something's going to work and it doesn't. So anyway, but we're going to get it figured out. So don't worry. If you own the combi, we're good to go because it works great. I just have to figure out how to work it, and then I'm going to teach you guys how to work it. So we'll be good. All right. Hi, Jane. How are you? Hello, George. How are you?
Did you get Juliet?
Juliet's who I just answered, I thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so Melba loves her combi, so good. And Jane loves her combi, so very good. We all love our combis. I think we can get really more in depth with it, though. I think there's much more that it can do. And Leanne, I know you love the combi. One of the issues, Leanne, and I'll just bring this up real quick, is switching functions. You saw that. I know you answered that in our group. You can't just switch natively like you can on this model of Ninja Foodie. You can't on the one lid, and you can't on the combi just switch functions. You have to actually turn it off and reset. Okay, but there's some things that I've been figuring out. If you have run one of the steam functions and you want to, I forget what I was making when I found this out. Maybe I went to test it again right away. I think that's what it was. I think I was doing instant rice because I wanted to get the easiest way to do instant rice, which turns out it's probably just sear saute. But anyway, I was doing steam or something, or maybe it wasn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it was. I made the recipe and, well, it wasn't a recipe. It was like rice or something. And then I went to do it again right after. And I mean, I should have realized this. It does not go through the steam period, even on steam bake or combi meals or steam crisp. If you have just used it and the bottom heating element is hot, it will go straight to the dry heating element. And it sort of bypasses all the things that we love about combi meals, combi crisp, and combi bake. So that was very interesting and something that, I know I was testing a zuppa toscana soup in it. Okay. And I had sauteed in it. And then I tried to go right to whatever function, let's just say steam crisp. And it just went right to the crisping part. So that's very interesting. So it's something I've taken into consideration. Okay. Enough about the combi, right? This will be combi time. All right. I think, did I get everybody? Robin, hi, how are you? And Barbara, hi, how are you? And Debbie, hi, how are you? And Denise, hi, how are you? And another Denise, how are you? So also just to let you know that Sunday morning video premieres are back on track. I've been doing them for the past 2 weeks. So if you guys used to join in on those on Sunday mornings at, what is it? Is it 10 or 11? I think it's 10.
10 Central.
10 Central Time, US Central Time. You certainly can. I'm trying to get ahead a little bit, but we're on track with the videos for every Sunday. I just need to get my posts written. Those are a pain in the butt. Hey, Joni, and hi, Dee, and hi, Denise Allen. I don't know if I said hi to you already. And Crystal, good evening. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Good luck with your ultrasound. And Barbara Thurston, how are you? And Sharon, how are you? Lots of people. And Linda, hi, how are you? Oh my gosh. And Ella, how are you? And where are you from? Oh, Virginia? Okay. And Terry, hi. Oh, thanks. You guys don't really see my hair down very often because I always wear it up in videos and stuff. But I had it highlighted today and trimmed, and she flat irons it, which I cannot be bothered to do. So I'm like, oh, I'll just wear it down and let people complain as they will. Not you guys, but people who watch the replay don't like to watch people cooking with their hair down. Well, you're not eating my food, so it is what it is. The hair's down today. Unless I get too hot, and then it'll be going up. and that will happen mid-live if I get too hot. Okay. Milena has a question. I guess combi, you're wanting to know what it is. I'm not going to get into that right this minute. Maybe I'll get into it a little bit later on when we have a little break, like when I'm cooking something. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Just because I don't want to have the whole first part of the chat being all about the combi. Hi, Carol, how are you? And Barbara Evelyn and Donald, Denise. My gosh, there's so many people. Heidi, Nikki, Rosalind, Deborah, Claudia, Erin, and it just keeps going. Nancy and Tracy. My goodness, and Marla. And hey, Maggie. Thank you. And Maggie is my cousin, my wonderful cousin. and Monica and Dana and Elisa and Christine and Lauren. Woo, that was a lot. Okay, welcome everybody. If you are new to Tasty Tuesday, and Sharon, if you're new to Tasty Tuesday, what we do is Jeff and I I cook most of the time. Sometimes he will, but he brings me surprise ingredients. I don't know what they are. They're all under that little thing. And then I have to cook dinner with him on the fly. He usually has an idea of what he wants me to make. Whether I make that or not is up to me, but I do use the ingredients that he brings me, and sometimes I supplement with some pantry stuff. We also have had on occasion, which I absolutely love. So if anybody wants to be a sous chef, we have experience where we have a sous chef. They can come on live with me or not, and that's remote. Obviously, you don't have to be here with me in the studio, although if you live close, that would be fun too. And they bring a recipe that they want me to cook, and Jeff gets the ingredients, and then we roll with that. And that's a lot of fun too. And then I get help from the sous chef on what I'm making, because usually it's something I haven't made before. Okay.
All right, let's start with.
And then I'll go over what this is.
Let's start with.
Oh, should I close my eyes? Sometimes I try to guess the ingredients.
Okay,
Let's see.
we'll do that.
Okay, eyes closed. Okay, so this is cheese. Now, what kind of cheese I really wouldn't know. I mean, it feels like a pretty firm cheese. So I'm going to go with either a Gouda or a provolone. Gouda. And applewood smoked Gouda. Okay, very good.
That's what you say.
What?
The applewood part.
Okay.
All right, you ready for
Applewood.
another ingredient?
Okay. Well, that's bacon. And it doesn't look like it's cut very well. Or it doesn't feel like it's cut very well. Is it bacon?
It's not too bad, but
Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. All right. Sometimes have you found bacon sometimes to be like terribly cut and then it doesn't cook right, you know? All right, bacon.
But if you're making bacon, what are those bits?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
Is that what I'm making?
I don't know.
Bacon
You
bits?
make whatever you want.
Bacon bits for dinner?
Are you ready?
Okay, ready. Oh, I kind of saw.
Okay.
Okay, spinach. I kind of saw it come out. I knew it was green. It wouldn't have taken me long to catch that one.
Ready for the last ingredient?
What?
Yep. And then you can do whatever you want.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should touch my face. Well, it's in a package. It's just cold. And it's not a
It's
package.
only cold and wet because I thawed it in.
Ugh. Oh, is he pork chops? Okay. All right. The only reason why I knew it was pork chops, because look, I'm not that good, is because I think I packaged them. Didn't I?
Oh,
Or did you?
probably.
I packaged them.
You
So
did because they're not labeled.
they're not labeled. Yeah, I packaged them. And so what I did was I packaged them separate, and I remember doing it. These are kind of thick cut pork chops. This is very interesting because I was just about to test a recipe doing pork chops and gravy, but I don't have any mushrooms. But then again, I do have mushrooms because I have freeze-dried mushrooms.
And those pork chops, I believe, are the ones that
They are not, but
are those from the store? Because I went to that pork shop.
yeah, we only had one left though, and it was huge. This one's different, but this will be good. Okay, I don't like pork chops, especially boneless pork chops, unless I bread them and fry them, and usually they're thinner, and that way they're okay. I find that they're hard to cook because they dry out so quickly. I don't even really like them if they're cooked perfectly because I don't know. I just don't. I'm just not a pork chop girl.
All right. Do you want to come up with an idea, or you want me to tell you what I was aiming for?
Yeah, you can tell me what you're aiming for, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Right. It's not complicated. I was just going to have.
I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to have so much fun with this.
Gouda and bacon stuffed pork chops. The spinach could have been in the stuffing, or the spinach could have been aside.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I'm not doing that. Well, okay. Let me let you guys decide, because I could do that too. Let me let you guys decide. Okay, these are the two options. You tell me what to cook and I'll cook it. What Jeff just said. So stuffed pork chops, which are even harder to freaking cook because they really dry out then. But I can manage. Okay. Stuffed pork chops with whatever, bacon, Gouda, spinach stuffing that I wanted to do. Okay. That's choice number one. Choice number two would be more of a home style pork chops and gravy with mushrooms and onions. And then we would elevate it a little bit somehow with maybe doing a spinach and Gouda wonton. I don't know where that came from.
Where's the bacon come into play?
Yeah, you let me worry about that.
Okay.
Those are the two options. Hi, Kathy. Okay, stuffed pork chops, home style, stuffed.
Got one vote.
Yeah,
Two
home
votes.
style. We're gonna have to go back, so we're gonna just let a few minutes go by so people can vote. Stuffed. Challenge me tonight. Home style. This is close. We'll have to go back up and count. All right, just give everybody one more minute.
Okay.
Place your votes. And then I have a feeling I'm doing stuffed. What a pain. Okay.
Oh, John's putting bacon on the outside. We should probably get the bacon crisping.
Do you just let me? Do you want to do it?
No, I don't want to do it.
If you want to do it, because if you want to start telling me what to do,
I do it.
then you go ahead and tell me what to do.
Complicated video.
Okay, all right. You, yeah, okay. You should do whatever the easiest. To me, both recipes seem pretty daunting. One is super simple, and one is going to be a little bit more complicated. But that's okay. All right, so I can pretty much tell you we're doing it. We're doing stuffed. I should totally make Jeff cook. Okay, so we're going to do stuffed pork chops. All right, that's fine. I don't mind. They're fine. It's fine. I don't mind. It's just a little different. Okay. So first of all, I did not get my knives cleaned. So let me get my knives cleaned.
Why don't I get the knives cleaned?
No, because you won't know which one. Then I got to sit here 5 minutes and explain because there's a certain one.
You show me the knives and I'll clean them.
Oh, by the time I do that, I have it done. If I can find it, that's the whole big problem. Because, I wish you guys could see the mess over here. It's not too bad. Is it?
It's been worse.
It's been a lot worse. Okay. All right. So let me think about this. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, I like John's idea about wrapping them in bacon too. The only problem is I don't like I'll talk about that when we get over there.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear.
No, I'm kind of talking to myself. Okay. Let me make sure that I have the half and half where I have cream. I'm just telling them to get some ingredients. You tell them to get some ingredients. Jeff.
What?
Can you tell them I'm getting some ingredients? Well, never mind. They can hear me.
They can hear you now.
Okay. All right. I'm getting some ingredients. And I'm still getting some ingredients because I've got to get something going in here. And then I'll talk to you about my cocktail. Okay. I'm going to turn that on. Okay. I need the stuffing. I need to make the stuffing. And I need to get the bacon done. I'm trying to think for two. I probably only need, let's do 3 of these. I'm going to chop that up in just a minute. I need to find my kitchen scissors. All right. Okay. I'll have the grease from that. Okay. I'm thinking this through and then I'll tell you. What was I saying over there? Right now, what I'm doing is cutting these into little pieces because I'm going to use sear saute to get the filling done before I stuff the pork chops. So it'll be easier to do this if I cut the bacon. What was I saying over there, Jeff, that I said I would explain? I don't know.
I don't remember.
That's why I can't remember anything. All right.
I'm gonna have to get a portable microphone for you, so when you walk off camera, everybody can still hear you.
A horrible?
Portable.
Oh.
You know, little wireless clip-on for Tasty Tuesday would be fine. I wouldn't do it for the.
Yeah, that would make life easier. I mean, really, that would make life a lot easier.
I'm on it.
Because I like to move around and I got stuff to do, right?
Yep.
Okay, will you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Will you go into the freeze dryer room and grab me the freeze dryer mushrooms, the freeze dried mushrooms, please. Freeze dried mushrooms. So I'm going to do a combination of bacon, mushrooms, spinach, and Gouda as the stuffing. Okay. So, but I don't have any fresh mushrooms, and this is why I'm like in love with this freeze dryer, because I buy a lot of stuff. I buy a lot of groceries, a lot of produce, because in my brain, I'm going to make 500 recipes tomorrow. So when I'm at the store, I buy everything I need for 500 recipes. Well, obviously, I can't make 500 recipes in a day. And I'm not even kidding, not 500. I am joking about that, but I'm not even kidding. Like, not just like, I think I'm going to make 20 recipes in 2 days. Like, it's impossible, right? But I buy everything I need because I hate going to the grocery store because I hate wasting time at the grocery store. And then I have all this produce that goes bad. And that makes me sad. So the freeze dryer is coming in handy. He's not going to be able to find the mushrooms. Jeff, look in the closet on the shelf.
Oh.
I know he's not going to be able to find them. Okay. So Kathy just brought up the point. You should wrap the bacon around the pork chop. This is the issue with bacon wrapped anything. If I'm going to discard the bacon and sort of waste it, I'm perfectly fine with wrapping. What I am not fine with, and I do have a recipe because I cook it for so long, that's not pork chops. I cook it for so long that I'm able to get the bacon completely rendered and crispy on both sides. But when you wrap meat in bacon and then, air fry it, bake it, whatever, your outside's fine, but your underside is I'm not going to say undercooked. That's the wrong word. It can be perfectly up to safe eating temps, but it's flabby. And I don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like flabby bacon on anything. So while I think it's a great idea to wrap them for a couple reasons. One, it will help keep the stuffing in. Two, it will protect the outside of the pork chop from being overdone. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to leave the fat on these pork chops. I'm going to stuff them and I'm going to air fry them. The stuffing is completely cooked, and as long as I keep an eye on the temperature and make sure that pretty much both halves are perfectly cooked, then I should be good to go. All right, I'm going to take these off of here. And this is just water, so don't think I'm cross-contaminating. I'm not. All right, so these are my freeze dryer mushrooms. Oh, boy. I can't do it.
Half the jar is
popped. Oh, my God, I can't do it.
Doesn't want to pop it off.
No.
Whoa. There's actually a tool that came with this.
Oh, I don't know where that is. Okay. All right, now I'm doing like 500 things at once. And I don't want to. I should probably turn that bacon down. All right, so we're going to put in, I don't need that many. So these are freeze-dried mushrooms. I just did them the other day. Whew, they are mushroomy. Wow. Everything seems to be more concentrated. So I'm just going to let these reconstitute a little bit. For this, it does not matter how much water I put in. The mushrooms are only going to absorb so much, so it's not going to matter. And then they will come back to normal, fresh mushrooms. And then I will add them in. I'll chop them up and add them in. So we'll let those sit here like that. Okay. What else am I supposed to be doing? Probably need to turn this temperature down. Okay, I can't see it. Okay, there we go. We'll go to medium. Okay. What else am I supposed to be doing? Putting the chops wrapped in bacon on a rack would ensure the underside is crisp too. No, I don't mean that. I mean the part of the bacon that's next to the pork or whatever meat you're wrapping it in. So if you've ever gotten a filet and it's bacon wrapped, number one, if you get them done at the store, it's because they're covering up stuff. So I don't recommend those too much. But if you do it yourself, the underside of the bacon, in my experience, never crisps. Now, if you can cook something for a long enough time, it would, but then I will dry this out. So you either overcook your steak or you overcook your pork chops. Bacon wrapped chicken thighs would probably be okay because you can cook them a lot longer. I don't know what that means. Okay, the drink, prepare the pork chops, grate the cheese, all the things.
You were saying, what else do I need to do?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, my little tick list.
She's got a list.
That's right.
She's going to send it to you.
Keep me on track here. Keep me on track. I'm just going to keep going with this even though. Okay, the drink. So let's talk about the drink.
Hello, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. Okay, so this drink, and if you were on Tasty Tuesday, I think not Tasty Tuesday, Q&A, you know that I froze dried. That's not a word. I froze dried. I froze it. No, I freeze dried it, a whole watermelon in pieces, obviously. So, and I did it 2 ways. I did it in chunks for reconstituting as watermelon, which is what this is. Now it's been in my alcohol. It's a little floppy, but believe it or not, it does have the taste and texture of regular watermelon that maybe has been in the refrigerator for a couple days. Like, you know how it gets a little softer? That's the reconstituted, but it does keep its flavor. Then the other bit of the watermelon I took and I blended it up with some water and sugar and made like something that you would mix a cocktail with. And then I put it through the freeze dryer. I meant to grind it into powder, but I never have. And I've been using it in cocktails, which I say that like I have them all the time. I used it last Tuesday and I'm using it this Tuesday. That's all, nothing in between. So this was ice, vodka, water, and the sugar watermelon blended. See, now I need to go up on the heat. And it's delicious. It was a little boozy, so I put some more of that in. Now let's taste it. It was a little too boozy. Oh my goodness, that's good. That is so good. And last week I made like a watermelon tequila drink. Okay, that is delicious. Put that away. Okay, so drink has been talked about. It is watermelon, yep. And I do have strawberries, so I can show you those while these bacon things go. I did do strawberries and bananas. It's like show and tell. I don't know. I can't open these. I need one of those.
Yeah, it's just anything that opens up like a beer bottle. You don't want those open, do you?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, no, they don't. I can show them later, but anyway.
Okay.
So these are the freeze dryer strawberries. Oh my goodness, they're good. Oh my goodness, they're good. And then, oh my goodness, they're good. And then these are bananas, freeze dried bananas. They're crunchy.
I think they're best when you take a strawberry and a banana together.
Oh my goodness, they're good. They are really good. Now, I'll open these up later if you want, but these are freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches. Believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? They're not my favorite because they're just crunchy. They just taste like crunchy sugar with chocolate covering them. You know, the chocolate sandwich cookies. But they're very crunchy. They're not my favorite. And then this is my slab pie that I freeze-dried. And it's beautiful to look at. I don't know if you can really, if it really captures the beauty. It's very, very pretty to look at. Hard to eat though. So that wasn't an exact win. They're very crunchy. Good, but very crunchy. All right, we're almost done here. But I need to go a little bit longer. Then I'll throw in the spinach. Then we'll grate some cheese. We'll get in the mushrooms. I've never reconstituted these mushrooms. They're looking a little funky, aren't they? I mean, when I say funky, I just mean like they're looking a little on the brown side.
They'll get cooked in there.
But that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to take them out and I'm just going to chop them up, throw them right in with the bacon and get them into the bacon stuff. Okay.
So George is asking about freeze-dried stuff.
Okay.
Is it actually frozen? He can't get his head around how all that's sitting in jars and they don't melt.
Okay. I'm still learning this. Okay. So what happens? It's so cool. Think about freezing and then dehydrating. Okay. So think of it that way. Except for when you dehydrate, you're pulling the water out. You're drying the water up, so to speak. Okay. When you freeze dry, you do put in the food. Either you can pre-freeze it or you can have the machine freeze it. Because I don't have freezer space, I just let the machine freeze it. So it actually is like a blast chiller, which is another benefit because sometimes you want to blast chill something. Like if I could make ice cream, homemade ice cream in probably 10 minutes in that thing, just by putting it on the freeze cycle because it freezes so fast.
Although we've never tried that. But
we haven't tried it, but I think it's going to work fine. So once it's frozen, then a vacuum is applied so that the pressure is removed from the chamber. And it's a big thing, okay? It's no joke. So you think about pressure being locked in the pressure cooker. This is the opposite. The pressure is removed from the chamber. So there's no pressure pushing down on the food. So that vacuum stays at a certain level and it varies, it changes as sublimation occurs. And the sublimation occurs because the trays are alternatingly heating up, but the liquid in the food that is now frozen goes straight from frozen to gas. And the way that happens is that all the liquid is just frozen on the chamber going around. Okay, so the cell structure does not collapse during freeze drying. Normally, if you do it right, like I've messed it up and it's collapsed. It's amazing. So it is frozen, but then it is dried. So these are not cold. They don't melt. They're not cold. They are absent of water is the thing. I made yogurt powder. This is brisket that I made a couple months ago, right, on the wood fire. And believe it or not, I can open this one up. Believe it or not, if I put this chopped brisket into the pressure cooker, pot and pot, so a little bit of water in the bottom, put this into a pan, put some water in the pan and pressure cooked, it would taste exactly like it just came off the smoker. It's amazing. I've tried that several times. I've done pulled pork. It's amazing. I did whey. I don't know where my whey is. I made whey powder. I don't know where that is, though. Oh, and probably one of the most amazing things I just did was I put out a turkey breast recipe. And the turkey breast recipe, I took the breast off the bone. So I made bone broth. So I did my bone broth and I got the water out. That's my peach barbecue sauce. That's not bone broth. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh. Peach barbecue sauce. So anytime I want barbecue sauce, I just add water.
And we took the peach barbecue sauce to.
Oh, this is.
Right?
Yeah, we took the peach barbecue sauce This
And the
is
mango sauce.
and the peach barbecue both. This is my freeze dryer bone broth. Now I made a mistake and I took it out too soon. So it's not something I'm going to leave on the counter. I just did it this morning, so it's fine for today. But I also had a little bit too much fat in it, and fat does not freeze dry because fat does not contain water. So anyway, there's my lesson for today. I don't want to bore people too much because I'm as exciting as it is for me. If you don't have one, you don't have any interest in it, it's probably like, Louise, shut up. I don't want to hear it.
Out, but it's cool.
Huh?
You're kind of geeking out on it.
It's
cool.
so much fun. It's so much fun. So this is yogurt, I think. This is either yogurt or whey. I don't remember. I think this is yogurt.
Miss Never labeled over here.
Miss Never Label. I think that's yogurt. I'll know when I put water in it, right? All right, so now we're going to get in a little bit of spinach. Yes, I'm not washing it. It's triple washed, and I'll cook it. And for this, I'm not just going to wilt so much. I'm going to actually kind of cook it a little bit down a little bit more. All right, so about half of a teaspoon of salt for the filling. Always remember to season as you go. This pepper's empty. Can you give me the other pepper? Right there. Oh, there's the whey.
Oh.
Yeah. So the whey was the byproduct, quarter teaspoon of pepper. Was the byproduct of yogurt that I made and strained. So now I have like basically whey protein powder like you buy in the store.
George says thanks. He now understands.
Except mine was free.
George now understands how to freeze dry.
Okay, good. And George, I know you're smart. I know you are. So look, if you wanna geek out on it and start doing some research, you can educate me on it. Because really, I don't know what I'm doing. I had Jeff like, okay, Jeff, you have to explain this to me like I'm 2 and explain it to me in the world of pressure cooking because I do understand that. So he's like, it's the opposite of pressure cooking. We're still working on the mTORs, right? We're still working that out. That's part of the vacuum.
It's a measurement of vacuum, so it's like the opposite of pressure.
Yes.
You know, something like that. It's like when you go in completely the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You take away pressure.
And that's way above my pay grade. I don't understand any of it. Okay. We're almost done with that. Then I'll get the pork chops prepared. This will be a quick one. We don't have any sides, Jeff.
Colleen wants to know what kind of freeze dryer you have.
I bought a blue Alpine because I liked the guy that owns it. And Harvest Right is a very popular brand. They've been around for home freeze drying. They've been around probably the longest, I think. But a lot of people have issues with their customer service. And if I decide to do videos, which I don't know that I will, but I'd like to because it's fun. I didn't want to be recommending anything or using something that people might go out and buy because they're not cheap. They're like $3,000 to $4,000, so it's no joke. It's not like buying a foodie. Although it might be if your foodies are breaking, it might be because they're supposed to last a long time, these freeze dryers. Anyway, I didn't want to recommend a brand that was having a lot of issues with customer service because customer service is so important, right? Especially when you have a new machine and you don't really know what you're doing. I can turn that off now. You need to have customer service. So I started looking at other brands, and there's a few other ones, and some seem maybe a little fly by night. And then this one was a new one, Blue Alpine, and I ran across some videos because I really watched a lot. I really educated. I've been researching this for a couple of years, and this one just popped up right before I bought. And I just saw an interview with Corey, who is one of the owners, and he just was so down to earth. You could tell he was a little nervous on camera. You could tell he knew what he should say as a salesperson, but he's not a salesperson. So he just told the truth. And I appreciate that so much that I was like, that's the brand for me. So that's what I did. But it may not be the brand for everybody, so do your research and stuff. Okay, we're gonna air fry these pork chops. But I'm gonna do it on a rack, I think. Because I don't need the basket. I'm gonna do the rack. Do this rack. We will do it on low.
Colleen's gonna ask Santa for the freeze dryer.
Oh my gosh, you would love it. It's really amazing. I thought it was going to be hard, especially the oil changes. I thought, oh my gosh.
Tomorrow we've got to do an oil.
I did change the oil today. Because after every liquid load, you need to change it. But you filter it through, so you reuse it. So it's not even wasteful. It's just really awesome. But I thought it would be terrible. It's not. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how to change oil in a car or anything. Like, how am I going to do this? Thinking I got to get inside and do all. No, it's just a little thing on that. Yeah, it's so easy. So that was a non-issue. All right, let me get this open.
Renee said your hair looks beautiful.
Thank you. I'm starting to feel hot, so it might be going up.
So Wendy was asking if whey affects somebody with a gluten intolerance.
That is a really good question. So I'm going to say yes. And the reason I'm going to say yes is because a lot of people who are lactose intolerant cannot eat regular yogurt, but they can eat Greek yogurt because most of the lactose is removed through straining. And what's removed through straining is the whey. So I would think the whey is higher in lactose than the actual yogurt.
She's saying gluten, not lactose.
Oh, why did
There's no gluten in there, right?
Yeah, there's no gluten. No, there's no gluten. When you make homemade yogurt, I'm sorry, I thought lactose. I wasn't thinking gluten. There's no gluten. There's no gluten in dairy.
No, but there's probably a lot of lactose or whatever causes somebody to react to that in whey. But gluten, no way.
Nope. So Kat saying she had so many issues with her harvest right. Both the machine and customer service, everything finally got worked out, and I'm absolutely loving my freeze dryer. If I was ever to buy another, I'm assuming that means, you're moving on to another thing. Go down a little bit. It probably would not be a harvest right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I thought you were going to say. That a lot of people say that, but then some people just absolutely love their harvest right. I can't say for sure yet whether mine is error free because I'm still learning it. So I'm not sure if it's user error or machine error or something like that. I'm just not sure yet. So we'll find out. I am having a little bit of issue with the heating trays, and I don't know if it's because my settings are wrong. Sometimes it doesn't seem like they're heating. But anyway, this is not freeze dryer 101, so we don't have to keep going about that. Okay, so now I've got the Gouda grated. That's a lot of Gouda.
That sounds Gouda grated.
I got the Gouda grated. I don't need all that Gouda, so I'm gonna have to put it into another container. I'm gonna put it in with this. That'll be absolutely plenty. I might make the spinach. How about I serve it with cream spinach?
That sounds good. That way, okay. Spinach. Well, wait a minute. Do you have spinach left over?
Oh, lots of it. What am I doing? Not that. Okay. Well, let's see if I can make cream spinach at the same time. I bet you I can. Make cream spinach at the same time. I bet you I can. My hair's getting on my nerves now.
Yeah, you're used to it being up.
I know, and I don't want it falling all in the food. I should have cream. Don't I have cream?
Yeah, there's some in the other kitchen.
Okay. I'm not going to worry about putting any onions in because that's just a whole other thing. Is this cream from home any good?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Something about a week old. I've been using it.
Does it curdle?
No, it's fine. It's been going to my coffee.
Oh, I'm gonna look at it. I don't know. Kind of funny.
But you had an incident, didn't you?
Huh?
You had an incident
I saw a chunk.
too.
I'm not using that. It doesn't smell fresh to me. Okay, I got another. No, I really need. No, you know what? I'll use half because I'm able. So I'm going to use half and half. Let me tell you my rationale. Because when I put the cheese and the spinach and the half and half in there, and then I air fry the pork chops on top, there'll be some evaporation. This is less likely to burn to the bottom because it does have water in it. So it's like half and half. I think it's half whole milk, which is going to have, I don't know if it's technically water, but anyway, thinner. All right, so I'm going to put in about, let's say half a cup. I just sounded Canadian there for a second.
Did you?
About.
A boat?
I said about
Did you
some
say a
kind
boat?
of
A boot?
Canadian. Okay, so now we're going to put all the spinach in. Okay. And then we're going to put that extra cheese in. Okay. I still need to season my pork chops. That's the last thing I'm going to do. Just a little bit of salt, not too much because the cheese will have salt. A little bit of pepper. I need to clean this off. A little bit of pepper. And in this, just because I need to, no, I'll use the grated Romano over top at the end. Okay. All right, I think we're good there. Now let me get
It's turning
this.
out to be a little more fun than just boring old stuffed pork chops, huh?
Stuffed pork chops aren't boring because they're not easy.
No one said they're easy.
All right, I'm trying to get this coated as much as I can. I might put a little bit more. I don't want the air fryer to like burn the spinach. So this is going to be a little bit of a trial and error. I might end up putting a little bit more in there.
More error than trial. That's okay though.
That's okay. It's okay. All right. This won't matter. I can open this up. So now, how am I going to season them up? I mean, I could use just basic salt and pepper. I can use some garlic. You want me to go all out or you want me to do simple? What do you want?
Let's think about what our flavors we got. We've got smoked Gouda and smoked bacon and pork. There's only kind of one-dimensional, two-dimensional maybe. Maybe we add something else. What do you think?
Okay. So I'm going to give you a list of spices if you can grab them. I've got salt, pepper.
Sure.
So if you can get me some, do I want basil or thyme? I'm going to do thyme because thyme and dried thyme leaves, dry rosemary, garlic, salt, or garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper. That should be good.
You got the salt and pepper.
I've got salt and pepper.
Here's your powders. Let me get the
Okay.
rosemary and what?
Dried thyme. And the dried thyme, and Jeff, before you go back in there, I think you can find them right up here. Right up here.
Oh, I never look up.
I know you don't. All right. So I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. Like that's like my go-to all the time. Half of a teaspoon of pepper because I always use half as much pepper as I use salt unless it is a pepper forward dish, which this is not necessarily a pepper forward dish.
I would have expected rosemary.
Onion. I'm going to put some in there too. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. I'll use half of a teaspoon. And then those are thyme. I'll put a little thyme, but only like an 1/8 in our spinach. Oh, I should have put nutmeg in the spinach. I'm only going to put a 1/4 teaspoon. That was a scant 1/4 teaspoon. Thyme can be a little overpowering. Did I put garlic or onion? I don't remember. Well, let me see what that looks like. Okay, good. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic. Don't want too much. Should I put some? I'll put some garlic in there too.
Rosemary leaves.
1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic. What?
Rosemary leaves.
Yeah, that's right. Those are terrible. I mean, not terrible, but you know, they get they're not good on your teeth.
Do we have a mortar and pestle back here? Yeah, we do. You want me to beat them up?
Yeah, beat them up for me. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right, that's good. Do that. That's the seasoning blend. Now, what's next? I know John's probably saying, oh my gosh, Louise, will you calm it down? Calm it down. My counter's clean, by the way. You haven't stopped talking since you started. I know. I never stop talking.
Oh, this is interesting. Now, I don't think that he's right, but George says, wouldn't turning on the foodie help?
No, not right now.
You don't want to start.
But you're funny. But you're so funny. But you bring up a good point, though. I should have, before I put that spinach and stuff in there, you know what I should have done? I should have preheated the air fryer. So now we're into another little bit of a dilemma here. I can't just put the air fryer on with that spinach in there. I could swap out pots because I have plenty of them. But because I've made this mistake, we're going to roll with it. And we're just going to see what happens. So ordinarily, I would recommend absolutely. Okay. And we're going to have a pinch, which is technically 1/16. Because that went real fine, didn't it?
It really did.
It really
That's
did.
Good. You're not getting
That's good. You did a
teeth.
good job. And that's going to be plenty anyway. All right, I'm going to pat these dry. So finish my thought on that. If you can hand me some paper towels. I'm going to roll with it. We're just going to roll with it. So I'm not going to be putting these into a hot oven or a hot foodie, which is a problem. It's a problem. How about I broil them? Which is grill in the UK and I guess other European.
What is that going to do to this?
It'll be a hotter temp quicker. Can
you cover the spinach with?
I don't need to worry about the spinach. What I need to worry about is overcooking the pork chops. Yeah. And preheating would have really been the answer. But now I've messed up. And that's
it's only messed up if you don't have a solution.
Yeah. Well, I have a solution. I have a couple solutions, but I'm not going to do any of them. I'm just going to keep it as a mess up because I think it's sort of a common thing.
John and I are on the same page. He said, place foil over the top of the spinach and then preheat.
Foil, how am I going to secure? Oh, I got it. Okay, thank you. That's brilliant. Okay, Jeff, will you grab a thing of foil? I figured that. Well, you guys figured it out.
It's brilliant when John says it.
What is that, George?
No.
Did you ever say that or you said that? That's so funny. Well, because I misunderstood you the first time and I thought you meant put foil over the spinach when I cook the pork chops, not to preheat the foodie.
Well, you were talking about preheat.
I know. My brain is way ahead here. So my brain is already at plating. So that's a problem I have.
Well, I think my comment may have been because you talked about broiling, and I was like, first thing I thought about was destroying the spinach. So I don't know. Maybe I was thinking about when you actually cook it.
Well, we'll see how this works. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go down and we are going to preheat this foodie.
John said double foil if needed.
Right. I know it's not going edge to edge. We're rolling with it. Where's my air crisp? I haven't used this in so long. Oops, not the right one.
You've only done a course on it.
I know, but I can't see any of these buttons, right?
Air crisp is going to be bottom row right there.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to preheat on broil. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Now. All right. Is everybody having fun yet? Okay. Now, which way do I split the pork chops? Fat side, non-fat side.
What would be the advantages?
Yeah, let's think that through because
Well, if the fat doesn't render right, you can always cut it off if you don't split it there. But if you split it there, you're kind of committed to that being part of your your fork. So I would probably go the other end for that reason.
Yeah. Anybody else? Lean
We got a
side.
lean side.
Okay.
We got a drink.
Anybody else? Yeah. Relax. Yeah. Anybody else? And then I'll tell you why I do it the lean side. And it's not right or wrong. Butterfly pocket from the meat side. Right. So that's what I do. And I'm not saying that you can't do it the other way. You absolutely can. But what's going to happen if I do it right, which, there's a 75 to 80% probability that I will mess them up. But if I do it right, then I will be able to create a slit that goes down in this arc shape that creates a perfect pocket for stuffing. And this will help hold it all together. The stuffing will be inside, and this will close up nicely.
And you have a fat wall for support.
Yes. Okay. Now, 99%. What did I say? 75 to 80%. It's probably a 99% possibility that I mess this up.
Here's an interesting comment.
Okay, before I
before you get too far. Fat side to the flat side is the butcher's opinion, who I asked years ago. That's the opposite of what you're saying.
Fat side to flat side.
I wonder why.
Yeah, did he tell you why?
90% of the comments are saying cut the.
Juliet, do one of each. All right, now we're gonna have the showdown. Oh gosh, now this is very stressful.
All right, there we go. The showdown.
And the winner is we're gonna do one of each. Okay. I'm not gonna butterfly them, so to speak. Okay, first I'm just gonna go in with this knife. This is a very, very thin knife. We're gonna go in and we're gonna go down as far as I possibly can. I can also, on this one, I can actually go all the way down to the fat if I wanted to, because I have a buffer here. Okay, so now I've got a fat pocket, but that's not going to give a lot of stuffing. So now I work on the edges, and to create a little bit more room, I'm going to take it all the way to the edge and all the way to the edge.
This feels like a master class.
I feel like I'm okay. I've done this twice in my life, so because I don't like pork chops.
John says, check the depth and hold your knife on that depth and go in.
Well, I'm just going to do it my way, John, which is pulling apart. Look.
And Jordan says, welcome to surgery on Tuesday nights.
That's right. That's right. I was a nurse, although I can't say I ever cut people open. All right, there we go. We have a beautiful pocket for stuffing. Now my hands are dirty. We're going to do the next one. Then I can wash my hands. Then we can get all this rest of the stuff. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to go this way. Let me check. I think we're good.
Now we're going to go fat side to flat side.
Now we're going to go fat side to flat side. I'm going to do it the same way. Oh, it's a little harder to get in there. Did Colleen ever say why?
Yes, I'm going to pop it up and I'll read it for you.
Okay.
He said that you get a better rendering of the fat with the cut on the fat side. And then she said, but I get the pocket you're talking about on the flat side. So this will be interesting. It's all going to come down to how the rendering of the fat helps or not helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I have to be careful because I can feel that I'm almost close to this edge. So, I mean, it kind of worked out. Now I'm not butterflying this, which would be a little bit different because to butterfly, you would pretty much spread it open, but keep it connected in the middle. And that's fine if you're going to wrap it in twine or secure it with toothpicks, but I'm trying to do this a little bit differently. So.
How's your pocket size? Do they compare?
I would say so. It's kind of gross though. So I don't really want to show it. Yeah. It's kind of gross. I don't know if it looks like an open mouth. It's kind of, it's not right.
Okay, John has an interesting comment. An upright pork basket will hold the stuffing and then you top it with cheese. So if you put it on the side that you didn't cut, and you make basically a pork bowl that you can stuff it with your stuff and then stick cheese on it, and the cheese is gonna melt down into it as opposed to out of it.
You could. I'm just wondering if I would get. Turn that off. I don't know how many minutes it was, but it's going to be fine, guys. I want to turn it off because I don't want to overcook the other stuff. So I wonder though, would you get even cooking on the pork chop if you did it that way? First of all, I should really taste this to make sure it's seasoned well.
Well, if you're using a convection cooking method like air frying, it's cooking all the way around it. Right?
Yeah, it might be a little salty. We'll find out. No, it's pretty good. Well, it'll be good. It'll be fine.
You haven't seasoned the pork yet, so you can think about that.
But I already did the rub, so. But
You made the rub.
it's yeah. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, it's good. Inside, I won't season the inside of the pork. Okay, now we're gonna go in. That's mostly cheese. Now, if I put this spoon back in here, I can't use it for anything else. So that I didn't think through very well. So let me get a scoop instead. Okay. As I probably just contaminated my whole kitchen drawer. Oh, I did the same damn thing. Oh my God. Okay. I put it inside, so if I put it back in this, like what I'm trying to do is just sort of drop it in, and then I'll stuff it. You know, I'm just trying to drop it in, so in case I have extra of this deliciousness left over, it doesn't go to waste. It goes into, I think that's going to be fine. It goes into that part, right?
Which is going to cook anyway. Right?
No, I'd add it at the end because I already, yeah. I guess I could add it now, which it would cook. But you know what? I'm going to have enough room for all of it.
Oh, once you start stuffing, it looks like it'll really go down.
Yeah, it does. I won't have too much. I swear. You know what this looks like? I'm just going to say it looks like Mick Jagger's lips.
But it's not as talented.
No. But that's what it reminds me of. You know that the Rolling Stones cover?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Like, are you smiling at me?
Well, at least you got good taste in music. Has to get out, buddy.
Okay, that looks good. All right. That is fat side to lean side. And I'm going to try not to do anything with these. And this is lean side to fat side. I forget who was who in this debate, or it's not really a debate, this challenge of doing one way. Which way did I say to do it? I don't even remember.
You said lean to fat.
Okay, so I'll make sure I stuff that one better. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, you burned the other one.
I'm just joking. Yeah. Well, that didn't work, Colleen. Call your butcher. All right, so sprinkling of seasoning on both sides of each one of these, about the same amount. And then I'm going to do something I don't usually do. And I'm going to actually spritz them with a little oil.
This is looking really good, I think.
Well, I guess we'll find out. All right. Here we go. Oh gosh, I could secure with a toothpick and it would be a little bit better, but I'm not going to. All right. I'm going to put them on the same side here. See, I have a feeling that mine's going to work better. Now, I will say I think there's a little less stuffing in here. So we have to take that into consideration when we're making the end determination. Okay. And yes, I know I'm contaminated. It's fine. I will clean up everything when I'm done. Is that air fry? Oh, I don't care about the time. My hair. This is why people. Huh? Is that, what is that? Oh, that's air fry. Okay. And I'm going to go at the highest temperature, which is 400. And we're semi preheated. And I'm going to estimate that these are going to take about, I'm thinking 5 to 7 minutes per side. That might be a little too much though. So now the secret is not overcooking them.
So John said, are you removing the foil?
Oh shit. John.
He said, what'd you say, oh darn?
Yeah. I think I gave up that whole never say one cuss word on camera. I think I gave that up a few months ago.
Just don't say certain.
I won't say certain. I won't say certain words because they're foul and they're not necessary. But shit here and there, completely necessary when you're cooking. You have to say it once in a while, or damn, or hell, maybe even a few times, right? We won't even get into what comes out of my mouth when I'm shooting a video, will we, Jeff?
Well, if I were to save, well, I have saved them, but if I were to put it in one folder, and I could make one heck of a video.
Oh my gosh, no. I would be mortified. Okay. Okay, now I need a clean spoon. I need to check on this. All right. I'm not going to put, oh, I used it all. So, like, we're already done here, guys. This is already done, which is why I should have preheated. Now, I've also completely undone my preheat at this
What's going to happen to the cream if it overcooks?
Well, I'm hoping it reduces down. I don't know. I don't know. It's Tasty Tuesday. We wing it. I don't know what I'm doing any more than.
Usually comes out delicious.
Usually. It's good. All right. We're good. We're all done. Now I need a thermometer. This is something I will monitor a temp on, although I do not always believe you have to. With this, I will, because I want to make sure I do not overcook it. So each part, I don't need to worry about the stuffing getting to 165 degrees, which if you stuffed it with something raw that had to be cooked, like let's say you made a chicken stuffing for some reason, chicken and mushroom stuffing, and it has to, for safety, it has to come up to 165 degrees. Well, then you would have to make sure your stuffed pork chops in the center read 165 degrees. By then, the outside is completely obliterated and overcooked. So by using the cooked filling, that really wouldn't matter because all the ingredients could be eaten raw anyway, but it's cooked, so it's a little warm. I don't even have to concern myself with that. But I do need to make sure that it comes up to enough of a temperature that any juices that come into that, oh, you know what? I think I do have to concern myself with this. Darn it. Now that I'm thinking this through, because any juices that come out of the pork, but it only needs
drip, right?
Yeah, and they're going to drip into the stuffing. So the stuffing has to be 145 degrees. Well, 140, and then we'll give it 5 minutes for carryover heat. That means I can't really take my pork out at 135, which I might ordinarily do.
Well, this
is why stuffed pork chops are a pain.
Very fitting here.
What?
She said, to quote another YouTuber, salmonella, I dare you.
Yeah. Like, don't. Pork isn't salmonella though. Usually it's something I think worse. I don't know, but that is killed at a lower temperature. Gus, you don't drink. You don't drink, and please don't start because you're going to undress me, and we don't do that on camera. Well, we don't do that ever.
We're going to save that one. Somebody write down the time code for that.
Oh my. Oh my God. Can you imagine? so much of my stomach. Oh. That might have been the funniest. Well, however you look at it, but that might have been the funniest thing that's ever come out of my mouth. Oh Lord. Oh my God.
John said, "What kind of show is this, guys?"
Oh. Whoa. This might be the funniest Tasty Tuesday ever.
No, we
Oh, my stomach is just like, all right, I got to find my thermometer. I should have used my probe. Let's peek. How long has it been? Did I set the time? 20 minutes? That's default. So 4 minutes. Oh, we're good. We're good.
Can you share the shot?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's not much to see.
There's not much to see. Okay. Oh, I forgot to spritz. Darn. I said I was going to do this, and there's a reason. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to.
You got the super spritzer.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do it because I want to give them a little bit of advantage to brown. And that's just going to help. Okay. Oh, my stomach. I feel like I have a cramp because it's so funny. Dee says, glad it was Gus and not George. Oh my gosh. Of course, George is so much bigger. And I know you're making the joke about George in Scotland, but George is so much bigger. If he went to like jump up on me like Gus does, and literally Gus has taken my shirt all the way down live. This was a while ago.
He'll be banned from YouTube.
But I mean, I had to hurry up and like get out of the camera shot because he literally took my shirt down. If George jumped up on me like that, it'd be all over.
George the dog.
George the dog. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hot. Oh, am I flushing? Am I flushing with embarrassment right now?
It doesn't show.
I have an extra. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to tell you about while this is cooking. Let me get my thermometer. And I'm going to tell you about our trip to Australia. So we are going to Australia. I am so excited.
It's a work trip.
Okay. So it is. Jeff wants to get into travel blogging. I'll be cooking, but he wants to get into travel blogging. He thinks it sounds fun. Wait until he realizes how much work it is.
Oh, I know how much work it is. I've done it my whole life.
But you haven't done the rest of it.
What's the rest of it?
Putting it up as a website article, because we have a website called avoidinghighways.com. It's still up, by the way. I kept it going.
Well, people can check it out.
And I think we started a YouTube channel. I don't think there's anything on it. Oh, there might be the Tail of the Dragon.
Might be a whole lot.
Anyway,
Get distracted.
so we wanted to, this is a while back before you even moved here, before my blog took off and everything, which I hate the word blog. It sounds so weird. I call it website. All right, and first I'm just going to check in here and say, so we are at about 95. That's okay. Oh, I hate to pierce these. Anytime you pierce them, I'm not going to yet, you release, you take the instant read out, a little hole is formed and juices escape. So I try not to do that too often. It's one of the advantages to a probe over the instant read. Okay, Australia trip. Let's see. We booked it. Well, we booked our flight. So we fly into Brisbane. This is next year. Fly into Brisbane. And then we're now officially booked in a hotel in Brisbane. Hopefully we picked a good one. We decided to stay 2 days because the trip is, we're going to stay 2 days in Australia. We're going to take 2 days to get there. We're going to stay 2 days, and then we're going to turn around and fly home.
And then we're going to go back to work.
But we'll be home the day before we left, so it's all good. Anyway, no, we're staying for like 5 weeks or something. So we're in Brisbane for a couple days. 6 weeks, we're probably at 6 weeks. Okay. So we fly to Brisbane, then we stay in the hotel in Brisbane. And then we go from Brisbane to Gari, which it used to be called Fraser Island. And we're going to be there for 2 or 3 nights. I think it's 3. And then we drive back because it's like a 4-hour drive. So then we drive back to Brisbane and we take we get on a plane and we fly over to Alice Springs. From Alice Springs, we're gonna take the Gone, which is this famous train. It's expensive.
The only way to go through the Outback without getting freaked out.
Oh,
We're not
yeah.
driving through the Outback. I know that.
No, not this girl. No. In fact, I'm like wondering how they keep the spiders off the Gone. You know, those deadly ones they have over there in Australia, John.
I don't think they're deadly. They're just big, right?
No, they're deadly.
They're deadly.
They're deadly.
No.
The stuff they have over there is impressive. Okay. Plus, the kangaroos come out at night, and apparently if you're driving in the Outback, you can run into them. And I'm not running into any kangaroos because that would make me heartbroken, and they probably would do a lot of damage. Okay. Oh, I don't really want to poke this one. It's time, guys. We're at 1:32, so we are close. I'm going to flip. And in the center here, we're only at 95. This is the problem. I'm nervous. I'm going to overcook these pork chops.
That's the problem with stuff in the pork chop.
I know. This is why I don't make stuff in pork chops. Where are my things? Oh, here. So once we take this expensive train ride, and I'll tell you because the prices are already on the website, so you can look too. What are they? $1,500 a person for one night.
What? No, we just booked it. It wasn't 1,500.
A person? It was too.
1,500?
A person.
Oh, I thought you said 15,000. Yeah.
1,500 a person. It's a one-night trip. One night.
On a really cool train.
Yeah, that goes rickety, 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 and I don't know if they have spiders in the corner. And the cabin is like this big.
The spiders are free.
The cabin is this big, but yeah, well, so is the booze. So that's the good thing, right? So booze is free.
The booze is free, and the food is supposed to be phenomenal.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, we'll see about that.
And
anyway,
that'll be a YouTube video.
It is an experience, right? Stop. Gosh, you're annoying me right now.
That's good.
I know what you want, but you're not going to get any food. So then I have no idea what we're going to do in Adelaide.
We're going to play it by ear in Adelaide, but we are going to go.
We have no one to see.
There's nobody.
I mean, there's nobody important in Adelaide.
No.
In fact, we could probably just skip Adelaide.
There's a winery nearby.
The whole reason we're going to Adelaide, which I hope, John, it's okay. I told them. The whole reason we're going to Australia, I should say, is because we are going to visit John. So excited. I'm so excited.
That's going to be the highlight of the trip.
It is. I'm so excited. Yeah. So, so Cynthia's saying Amtrak for one night in a cabin is easily $600. Okay, so maybe I'm not over that. Anyway, so we're going to be in Adelaide. We're going to visit John and Barry, two of my most favorite people in the world. And then after, would you please?
Gus.
Okay, you got to get him under control before we start having an R-rated show here because he takes my clothes off. So then where are we going?
And then we're going to...
Oh, then we're taking the Ocean Road, which apparently is very nice. We're
down to Melbourne.
These smell good.
Where's all this?
It's the oil burning off.
Yeah, we're going to take the Ocean Road, which is going to take several days.
Yeah, several
days.
Melbourne. Yes, Melbourne. And then we'll see what we have planned. We might go on
a lot of wineries.
Yeah, there's some other stuff, and it depends on how we can do the rental car. The rental car is the issue there. I got to find one that goes from Adelaide all the way around, and we'll go over on, what's that boat called?
Oh, the Tasmanian something.
Spirit of Tasmania.
Spirit of Tasmania.
Spirit of Tasmania. Yeah, so then we're going to go over to Tasmania. and we're going to the open market in Hobart, and we're gonna spend probably a good week or more there. I think we're spending a week in LA,
to go up, and
a week there.
There's,
Yeah.
Wombats and Tasmanian devils and all kinds of cool stuff to check out there.
And then we fly to Sydney.
Then we fly to Sydney and probably do dinner cruise.
We're gonna do a dinner cruise. We're only gonna be there a little while. Cities are not my thing. Like, take me to a farm without spiders. Take me to a farm and let me see the animals, and I'm good. Cities and people, not my thing. But good food is my thing, so we will probably try to find some of that.
And since we won't be doing Tasty Tuesday, we will be uploading videos.
Yeah.
Whenever we have internet connection.
Well, we have to figure that out. We haven't even figured that out yet.
Something we.
Oh, Barbara says she has friends in Tasmania. That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if anybody has been there, has sites they think we should see, like anything, like just send Jeff or me. It's better to send Jeff, honestly, an email, which is jeff@thesaltedpepper.com, only because I get so many emails every day and most of them are spam that, like, if something popped in and it said, go here, or you can't miss blah, 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 I'll be like, spam. So, so email Jeff with that.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good information from people. Well, some from YouTube videos, but a lot from friends and
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cynthia says I can hook you up with peeps in Sydney.
And Kat says, I'm jealous. When are you coming to Texas to visit? We have been to Texas several times.
What part of Texas?
What part of Texas?
Love Texas.
I'm sensing a vibe and a sort of way. I'm a Virgo, 'tis the season. So is it a good vibe?
I hope so.
Oh my gosh, this looks so good. But it's not quite as brown as I'd like.
That calls for broil, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to broil. But I'm afraid I'm gonna overcook. I'm
Are you gonna keep the spinach down there and broil?
Well, this is tricky.
I think you need to check your spinach and see if it's overdone.
Well,
we gotta eat that.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, spinach is spinach. Oh, well, I might be just saying, you know what? If I get salmonella or whatever pork products give you, I just get it because I do not want to eat pork chops that are not cooked right. Okay, let's go in there.
Let's go by temp.
Oh, Jeffrey, they're still at 114. And I'm already overcooking my outside.
All right, do we have suggestions?
So what am I going to do? And they're not as brown as I would like. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. Shoot. So let all the heat out.
Kathy said, when are you going? We're going in March, Kathy.
In March. Of course, if I eat this pork chop, it might be never going. Because all right.
It looks beautiful.
It does.
And they look the same.
Well, I think
I
kind of like mine better, but it's okay. All right. I'm gonna make universal decision here. To just keep cooking. I said 7 minutes per side. It's been 7 minutes per side. But I forgot about the juices. I wasn't thinking the filling was going to matter. And I would have been pretty right. Maybe even over right.
Trichinosis, is that it?
Trichinosis. Yeah.
Broil,
Yeah, but so what's going to happen? Broil's just going to dry it out even more, Colleen. I'm thinking about wrapping that. I want it a little bit more brown on the outside, but I'm thinking like, okay, if it gets too brown on the outside, then that's still drying. I can wrap each one in foil, bake them longer. That's going to sort of steam like John was saying, right? Yeah. So that's what John said earlier. That's what John said now. I don't know why John doesn't do Tasty Tuesday.
John, come to America.
Yep, it's time. time for you to do Tasty Tuesday.
John can come to America and do Tasty Tuesday, and we'll go to Adelaide and hang out.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'm going to do is Jeff and I will only eat one of these. So, but you want to see how they both turn out. Okay. Never mind. Ordinarily, what I would recommend is go ahead and remove one if you're not going to eat both of them. And then you can reheat it up to, the same temperature, 145 wrap. But that way you won't be cooking it twice. Oh, it's hot though. Oh, it's hot. Oh, darn it, it's hot. Oh, it's hot. That's really hot.
Is it warm?
No, it's hot. It's very hot. Now, we got juices down there. So I did curdle my cream.
Cream curdled.
Cream curdled. That's too high of a heat.
Might have burned the leaves.
They don't look too bad. I'm not going to worry about it, but I am going to go ahead and put this stuff back down. This is how you mess up and fix. That's how you mess up and fix. It smells good. This is how you cook on the fly when you don't know what you're doing. Because I don't. It's all a game. I don't know what I'm doing. Do I care about the rack at this point?
Probably not.
Probably not. So now we're doing a hobo meal.
Except I don't think there's too many hobos with the ninja food.
And I know a lot of people don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, not a lot. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Take that down. Yeah, not a lot of hobos with a ninja foodie. That would be really hard to carry on a backpack.
And trying to sneak it onto a train.
And it's sourcing electricity. Really hard to. So, I forgot what I was going to say. Doesn't matter. Oh,
Wendy
please tell me you have the
says-
bloopers. Oh my
Wendy
gosh.
wants the bloopers.
I know. I'm afraid if I release them to anyone, even privately, that I might be blackmailed.
I can beep out stuff which is pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious what's happening.
I think I've had to. We put out some videos. I don't know where we put them, but we actually had to lower the mouth because we couldn't tell what naughty word was coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Poop. I think we said poop.
Mm-hmm. Love for truth. If I need to cook something a little longer without trying it out, normally I pressure cook in my foodie for about 0 to 5 minutes. Yes, you could do that, but I'm not going to do that with pork. Pork's very lean, and I don't like it pressure cooked unless it's in liquid. So I don't like chicken pressure cooked either unless it's in liquid. So any of my recipes that call for pressure cooking chicken or pork usually are in a gravy of some sort.
George says, here we go again.
Yeah, I know. What is a hobo
What is
meal?
a hobo meal?
Well, first, what's a hobo?
That's a good place to start.
Yeah. So what's a hobo?
A hobo is a nomadic person who usually travels by train, hopping the train, not buying a
Going
ticket.
way
We
back.
could save a lot of money by being hobos
Yeah,
in Australia.
yeah. So they don't pay for anything. They legally hop the trains. They live a nomadic lifestyle, usually in congregations.
Sometimes they steal and sometimes they work for.
Sometimes they're grifters. Sometimes they're not.
Yep.
But basically, like the old iconic thing would be a stick with a little bag of personal belongings slung over the shoulder and going down the road, right? So a hobo meal, because they didn't have a lot of ways to cook, would be open fire cooking. And one of the best ways to open fire cook is in aluminum or, I'm talking about when you don't have anything, pots and pans. So cans and stuff like that, like, canned beans and stuff, they would just do right on the open fire. But a hobo meal is basically when you dump everything into some sort of a foil packet and you crimp it up and you throw it on the fire, or in this instance, you would throw it in here and you make a hobo meal. Am I correct? I don't know for sure.
I think you're correct.
I think I'm correct.
I think anything that you cook on a fire, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't think of a word that I'm looking for. Like on the fly.
On the fly.
You could call that a hobo meal.
Yeah. And Colleen says, hilarious hobo explanation. So am I right? Are we right? Are we not right? Right? Who knows?
What's the best hobo song ever written?
So similar to a swag man here. Okay, yeah, swag man. Now, if somebody said swag man to me, I would think.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. So if somebody says, oh, let's go visit the swag man, or let's go, oh, look at the swag man. I would think it's a guy promoting another like a music person or some kind of famous person, and they have a lot of swag. Swag means marketing gifts and stuff,
like
T-shirts,
giveaway stuff. Yeah.
or swag can be things you buy too.
Yes,
No, actually, swag is giveaways. I don't think you can buy swag. I don't think so, but you guys can correct me. So now what do we do? How do we take temperatures?
You can't take a temperature of tinfoil. Go through it.
I'm calling it. I'm not going to ruin dinner because it's just of a little disease that'll kill you.
Dinner's more important.
I'm just joking. We're fine. With my curdled spinach. That's okay. We're going to make it look on purpose in just 1 second here. So this is what we do to make it look all purposeful.
Are you going to add more?
I have some spinach, but it could be rotten, but I'm going to look.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'll know. Oh, my gosh.
Wendy said, do they drive on the left side? Yes, they do drive on the left side.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of experience
Perfectly
of left side driving.
Yep, we do. Okay, so that was good. So now we added spinach. And now I guess I should add some cream. This is going to look so gross. This is going to look gross. We're going to try to
add some more half and half instead of cream, right?
No, I want cream. No, forget it. I'll just use. Well, I might as well use the curdled cream at this point, right? At this point in dinner.
I think it was John that said earlier, just turn that into sour cream. It's halfway there, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now I added. So we got to add some seasonings. This looks a hot mess. Let me just tell you. So this little experiment here, total fail. Would not recommend.
Barbara said
I'm not gonna do any pepper.
This spinach looks great.
Well, you didn't see. But we're going to cover it up because that'll look just like the curdled cream. Nobody will know the difference. It's going to taste fine. The curdled cream is just a little off-putting, if you ask me.
John said the waltzing Matilda is the story of a swag man.
The waltzing Matilda. Very interesting. All right, Jeff, we ready to plate?
Yeah, let me go get a couple plates.
Just one.
Yeah, because we always, it's so late, we never eat.
Yeah. Bojangles.
Unless it's super duper duper.
Bojangles. Oh, you were asking what the best song is. Is it Bojangles?
That's a good one. Keep going. See if anybody has another.
Which one were you thinking about?
I'll tell you.
Oh, I think I know.
You probably know.
But I don't think he was a hobo.
What?
But he wasn't a hobo.
What?
Oh, he can't even remember. He doesn't know.
No, I do know.
No,
Come here.
I was thinking Curtis Lowe, but I'm like, Curtis Lowe's not a
He
hobo.
wasn't.
You know, I would have never thought of that. I don't even know that I know that. We can't play it though because we would get
Yeah,
we would get YouTube smacked.
Let's see what we got answers wise.
Okay. King of the Road.
That's a good one. King of the Road is a really like that probably might win, but I've got a different idea. That's a great one.
And then John's still talking about, I think, either the Swag Man or the Mary
Banjo Patterson.
I know, and lyrics. But there was
go back to John's.
Mary. I don't know. I don't remember. So Bojangles is what Leanne said.
Okay, I'm gonna say Mr. Bojangles was a pretty good one. I don't know if he was so much of a hobo as he was a dancer who dance for his meals.
Okay, I don't even know who Bojangles is, because I would think Bojangles would be a clown.
Mr. Bojangles was a great song.
Like if you give
Mr.
me the name
Bojangles, he danced for you.
And immediately I think of a clown. So I apparently don't know the song.
No, so
he wasn't a clown.
No, so he was this guy who would go to county fairs and things, and he would dance. He had baggy pants and a baggy shirt, and he would dance for money. And he
had face paint on because he was a clown.
No, yeah.
I'm joking. He takes this very serious because he's a musician.
Ended up in jail a lot.
And I don't.
Good story. But the one I'm thinking of is Gentle on My Mind.
Okay.
So if you ever have a chance, listen to the song Gentle on My Mind by Glenn Campbell. Beautiful song. And it's basically a hobo story. And this guy who basically becomes a hobo after he can't maintain his relationship with the person he was going to marry, goes on the road and rambles around.
And who is the singer? Okay, this one's a little undercooked still. So we're not going to eat this one, but it is at 140. It is it's so little bit under that I wouldn't even worry about it because by the time it sits here, but I did want to unwrap it to show you guys the difference because we have that little, which one's better. Okay. So this is cut fat to meat. And I will say that I added more stuffing. So I would not say that the stuffing had fell out because it really did not fall out. It looks good. I don't know that there's more rendering of the fat necessarily. It looks perfectly fine. It did perfectly fine. And then this is the one that I cut lean to fat. And I just thought of another reason why I would always do this. First of all, it did what I thought it would do. As the meat proteins shrunk up, it made it close its mouth, so to speak, if we're going to call the Mick Jagger. Mick
Jagger stopped singing?
Yeah. And so see how these are wide open? Now, that might be a prettier presentation, right? It might be. However, I don't think I would want to eat that and get right into the fat. That I don't think would be pleasant for me. But it is pretty looking. But this one is nice and clean, and I like it. And it did exactly what I thought. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I don't think it matters. But I'm just going to keep doing it my way, I guess.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
Because I'm not going to eat the fat on that pork anyway because it's not rendered enough. And I don't think you could get it rendered enough without really high heat grilling or something. All right, Mr. Long. It's up to you.
Cut away. Oh, it's up to me.
Hey, Mayor. It's been a really fun one. And I think I saw, Barbara, I'm going to eat the over one. We're going to cook it back up and it'll be fine. It's already probably fine, to be honest with you. If I go straight in to the center because, no, it's fine. I keep thinking 165. It doesn't have to get up that high.
Okay. It's a good cut right here. Because you get into
You cut wherever you want. It's your pork chop.
It's my pork chop.
It's your pork chop. You cut wherever you want.
I'm going to go a little thicker into the stuffing part here.
Okay, I can tell it's overcooked.
Oh,
what?
I see bacon. It looks good.
Apparently, it's hard to cut.
No, it's just I'm not good at cutting on a plate. Get my stuffing stuff here.
All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way so people can see.
Okay.
What you're doing.
I'm gonna get all of this. I'm gonna get some.
I'm nervous.
Spinach.
I'm nervous. I don't think he likes it.
I like it.
It's overcooked.
I think the pork might be.
I knew it.
That's why
I don't do stuffed pork chops.
Here you go.
I can tell by looking at it, it's overcooked. I don't like it. Oh, no, don't give me that. Oh, that's flabby bacon. No.
Tastes good.
I don't like it at all.
At all?
Mm-mm.
Let's try this spinach here.
I don't like it at all because I don't like overcooked pork. It's gross. And
spinach is delicious too.
It's always a problem. Like I'm gonna be here for an hour. It's not tough, but it's like it's dry. It's so gross. I can't stand it. No, I hate pork chops. But I have pork chop recipes coming out that you will love. They're not done like this because these will be overcooked.
John has the solution.
Sous vide?
John has the solution.
Sous vide, right?
No, think John. John Freeze.
Yeah. Vegemite.
Vegemite.
It wouldn't hurt. Okay, did you try the spinach?
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
This is a
Texture
fail.
wasn't great, but it was.
No, it's curdled cream.
Flavors are delicious.
Oh, now that's good. The flavors are really good in that.
All right, maybe we should try the other pork chop, the one that we did fat to lean.
Okay with that. Okay. Come on, you do it. 'Cause I don't want to eat it. Okay, let's try it fat to lean.
Look out, buddy.
Here we go. The Gus will say, I will eat it.
I would say that there's more stuffing visible on this end,
Yeah.
which means there's not going to be as much on that end.
I probably should, if I would have wrapped them sooner. Or what about wrapping it first? And then, see, I
Let
think
me turn this around and show people.
I'm
The
not
reason
sure what
that
I would do.
I'm not a fan of this one.
Hard to get into.
No, it's just the first thing you see. My mic's on. The first thing that you see is the fat.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to deal with that? Like if it's on the back.
If it's rendered and nice, I'll deal with
yeah,
it.
if
But
it was rendered, but it's not really.
it's not. It's fatty. Well, that could be the cook. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
No, she's crazy too.
What?
What did I say that out loud?
No, that's going too far.
Was that my?
People will think you're.
That was my indoor voice.
People will think you're like telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get this piece right.
That one actually looks better.
It does. It's got a little pinky to it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Still dry.
A little bit. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's overcooked. That's the bottom line.
I'm gonna give you a piece that has.
Oh my gosh. Unrendered fat. Joy.
Well.
Well,
some of the goodness.
I don't think that's goodness.
Oh.
Let me just take the pork. I don't really like much about it at this meal at all, to be honest with you. So, folks, don't make this at home.
It's not horrible, but it's not like we're gonna go out to a Mexican restaurant like we did that one time.
No,
We probably won't
it's dry.
indulge too much.
Mm-mm.
Pork chops are tricky.
Very. I mean, stuffed ones. I've now shown you why you don't stuff pork chops. However, I'm thinking if I made this better all the way around and I sous vide the pork chops already stuffed, you can get them to that perfect temperature without losing any juices or drying anything out. Then you could throw them on a grill.
That would be perfect. We can't, unfortunately, we can't do that on a Tuesday.
Are you sure this pork is good?
I was in the freezer. Here.
I'm getting a funny
It was
aftertaste. Like, I'm real funny about food, guys. So, like, it didn't smell bad or anything like that. Like, I have a good nose too. It didn't smell bad or anything like that. But, like, you know how something is gamey, okay? And that's because the blood, sometimes, I'm not going to say all the time because hunters will come for me.
Usually it's adrenaline.
But usually, yeah, it's because the kill wasn't clean and fast enough and they had time to build adrenaline. So the meat gets gamey tasting. So this is, you shoot a deer, but you don't exactly drop it right then and there and it runs a little bit. Adrenaline's building.
And that's why they slaughter pork the way they do.
And if you prolong like the fear of whatever, or even just anxiety, right? In an animal. And then you slaughter it, you can have a gamey taste. That's what this tastes like. A little gamey. What do you think?
I don't get gamey.
No? Okay, they're just gross. That's all there is to it. They're just gross.
Okay, so my honest opinion,
Uh-huh.
I have trouble with the texture because I had dental work.
You
done.
did. That's right. You did.
But it was dinner time
And you were hungry.
I would eat the whole thing, and the flavors,
You would like
the
it.
seasoning is perfect.
Mhm. Yeah,
Everything
he would like it.
was just right. I don't get the Gouda.
I don't either.
It disappears.
It does.
I don't know where.
Yeah, I know. And I use quite a bit. I mean, quite a bit of Gouda. So, John said steam and crisp may have kept the moisture. It may have, but I was worried about the fillings sort of starting to kind of come out in that wet cooking environment. Unless I wrapped it and then, unwrapped it. Anyway, I just, there's lots of different ways to approach this to fix it. But
Since you don't care about pork chops.
But I don't like
you're
pork
not going
chops.
to,
So I'm not going to because I don't like them. And I don't like them when they're made by, Gordon Ramsay. I'm certainly not going to like them when they're made by Louise.
So let me tell you what I was going to get you, but
Unless they're sous vide. Sous vide pork chops, thick cut, sous vide pork chops, best thing in the world. The other thing, the thing is smothered in onion and mushroom gravy, slow cooked, but you have to get bone in. That's the secret, bone in pork chops. That's the best. That's the recipe you're going to see from the salted pepper.
and I'll tell you, my favorite pork chop recipe is your
Shake and bake.
shake and bake.
Yeah. And that is totally different because, first of all, they're boneless, but they're 1 inch. These were like 1.5
They're
inch.
super duper juicy.
And the breading on the outside locks in the juices because if the way it's done, because I tested it 1,003 times because I can't stand pork chops. And if it wasn't perfect, it wasn't going out. It just works. Like it just works. It keeps the pork moist and juicy. The outside is flavorful and a little crisp, a little crunchy. It's just delicious.
Now there was something I was
Not salmon, no salmon. Neither one of us like salmon. So I will make salmon and I will do a recipe eventually. I keep saying that for salmon, but I don't like it. So, I'm not doing that on Tasty Tuesday. Jeff hates it. So he is definitely not buying it. No.
There was something I was about to say.
Sorry.
You said, like, I don't know, you kind of prompted me to talk about it, but I don't remember what it was because we got sidetracked.
I did. I forget. What were you talking about?
Must not have been very important.
I'm trying to think. It was about, you would have eaten the whole thing. Sous vide, we were talking about. I don't remember the rest.
Oh, it's probably not important.
Anyway, it's almost 9:00. I think we need to go. Where did time go?
Wow,
We've been alive 1 hour and 48 minutes. That's freaking crazy.
And we spent most of the time
Talking.
waiting for the foodie to do its thing and talking and having a great time.
It was a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah, we had
I
a
know
good
I
time.
did anyway.
Yeah, everybody
It was
was here.
fun.
It was a great group.
Yeah, I don't remember
As
what you were
always.
going to say.
Yeah, we're getting
Sorry.
tired.
Yeah.
I've been up since 5:30 this morning.
He flew to Nashville this morning for a dental appointment and then flew back this afternoon.
Yeah, so I get
And then we went to
early.
lunch. Oh, that's what I was going to say. We're not even hungry because we went to lunch. We're like, oh, we'll meet for lunch because I have my hair done. I said, oh, we'll meet for lunch. Well, it was great food, but the slowest place in the world. And our lunch ended at 4:00. So we're not really hungry,
Yeah, and we had delicious shawarma.
Love for Truth has got a thing. And then you can talk. I'm going to let Jeff talk about his chicken shawarma because I always interrupt him.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. I'll pop that. Go ahead and talk about that, and then I'll pop up Kathy's comment.
Oh, yeah. What? Thanks, Kathy. I love that people pay attention because we don't.
Well, thoughts are fleeting.
Oh, and I'm sweating. Good night, Barbara. Okay, so what were you going to buy?
Okay, let me close it.
We'll get back to your love for truth.
All right, so what I was gonna do, not that it was the greatest thing in the world, but I was gonna do chicken caprese stuffed peppers, stuffed yellow peppers. So it would be.
Were you going to get ground chicken or were you going to get?
No, it would be chicken
gosh,
breast, chicken breast chunks
Mhm.
with balsamic vinegar or balsamic like glaze
Mm-hmm.
and tomato and parm, or not parm, but mozzarella
Mm-hmm.
stuffed into a yellow pepper.
Okay, that would have been good.
It would have been delicious, but we did chicken last week, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's what I struggle with. So people that don't tune in all the time, I try not to repeat proteins, and I try not to.
But he only likes 3, so it's kind of hard, right? He actually likes pork, chicken, and beef. That's it.
But I brought you sausage.
That's
I
pork.
brought you tuna.
I don't remember tuna, but yeah, vaguely I remember tuna. Okay, love for truth. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that.
Let me come back to it. Wait, which one was it? Oh,
I am getting
There
tired.
it
There we
is.
go. Okay. Can I make a request for Tasty Tuesday? Fresh kielbasa, broccoli, and cheese. If I made it as low carb alternative to mac and cheese, it's really good. Okay. So love for truth. When you say fresh kielbasa, do you mean I have to make it? Which is not, like something I would definitely do if I could.
I've never
Which I'm
seen
sure I can.
kielbasa other than
Cooked.
cooked.
But that's where we live, that's just where we live. So I don't really know what fresh
Well, that's
kielbasa
been
is.
my
But
whole life, and I grew up in Pittsburgh, where kielbasa is a thing because it's.
But you might not be looking for it, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'd never.
oh, but you're in Pittsburgh.
had anybody
Because I was just
talk
going to
about
say, I think it's Polish. So you would think,
That's a huge thing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll have to look into that. But Jeff would love that because he's low carb. And so, I mean, that sounds like amazing. That would be a very easy thing to do. So the way to request something to be done, because I can't know about it ahead of time. So it won't,
And
it's not going to happen.
Please do this. Please.
Yeah, please do this. Everybody, anybody that wants something cooked. Now, I don't promise I'm going to cook it your way. Okay. It's going to always be my way because I'm winging it. Right. But if you give Jeff a recipe and ingredients and he can find them and stuff, he will spotlight you on Tasty Tuesday. So all you have to do is email him, Louise, no, not me. Don't email me.
Yeah, Jeff at thesaltedpepper.com.
Yeah. .com.
Did I say .com?
I'm
from Canada.
I think he drank too much tonight.
I might have.
I think he has. He's been over there sipping on his rum. So yeah, it's not .com, it's .com. Jeff at thesaltedpepper.com.
.com.
.com. Like
It's spelled differently.
that's a whole
It has
other
a B
story.
on the end.
That's a whole other story about phone green. He thought it was phone green. We told that story already, so we're not going to tell it again. Shallow. Oh my gosh, so funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. That's the story. We should sit down and tell our stories and laugh, and then we'll put them out as you guys watch them.
Like maybe one Tasty Tuesday, I don't bring you any ingredients.
So we starve?
No, like tonight would have been a perfect situation where we've already.
No, I think people like it.
And we just, we do this on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, we'll tell stories.
We will do this again this year. I bring out my guitar, we play some music, we tell stories. It's a blast. So
Wendy's way behind. So Wendy, I'm not on anything because we're done. Wendy's asking if I'm on Sir Saute. Anything but I don't even know how to pronounce it yet, George, so I can't talk about it. What is it? Kranikin. Anything but Kranikin.
George, no, Kranikin was perfect.
Kranikin was fine.
And Kranikin had nothing to do with what happened last week. It was just
no. That
was just stress boiling to a point.
Oh gosh, no. That wasn't anything.
It wasn't anything.
It was me being me and him not understanding that that's just me. And I have some weird looks sometimes. I just do. And I have weird expressions sometimes. I just do. And sometimes I totally mean them. And you'll know if I'm talking to you, if I ever do it, you'll know. Because I just have a look. But sometimes I don't even mean it and it comes across. It's not the resting bee face. I don't have that. My sister has that. I don't have that. But I have some looks, man, that I don't even know about. And they don't even come from my brain or my heart or my soul. They just, I don't know. My face just does weird things. And then people think I'm mad. I'm not mad. That's just.
You're just looking at me.
Did I do it?
No, you're just looking at me like I'm supposed to say something.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It's called, you're so wonderful,
You're
Louise.
perfect.
You're so perfect. We're joking. All right, guys. It's been great. I know. Yeah. Hog Mini last year was hilarious, but oh my God, the hangover. We had a good time on New Year's Eve. I don't know what Hogamy is, but.
Yeah. George, remind us what hog mini was, because I don't remember. I don't even recognize that word.
Hog Mini. Yeah, I don't either. I think it's Hog Mini, but I don't even know that.
So last year on New Year's Eve, we went live at home in Tennessee, and we drank and we stayed up and played music until like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and we went live at 6. 5 or 6. Mm-hmm.
Central Time.
People just joined in. People came up on stage. Like, what I mean by coming up on stage is we can send a link and you can actually get in and be on camera. People came up and were on camera. It was so much fun.
Okay, so Hogmania is what I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it.
Oh, okay.
Right, but that's what they called New Year's Eve in Scotland.
Hogmanay. We got to look that up.
Well, we're definitely going. Our next trip after Australia is our next big trip.
Yeah, then it's going to be to see George in Scotland. So Mare says, I've seen your mad face when somebody comes in here and makes an unnecessary comment. It ain't pretty. No. That's when you know, like, there are sometimes, like, there was somebody who called Jeff fat one time. I said, oh, no. Well, I draw the line there, because first of all, he's not fat. And second of all, go away. Bye-bye, And so, yeah, you'll know. Everybody knows, except for Jeff doesn't know when I'm not being serious or not, like when I don't mean it. He hasn't figured that out after 15 years. I just don't get it. But anyway, John says Geminis, we do that. We have many, many, many looks.
Oh. And I guess Aries just don't get it.
And Aries just, they're so laid back.
Yeah, we're laid back.
Until you're not, as we found out.
Is that right, John? We're laid back until we're not.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Until you're not. Anyway. Okay, Kat says she has RBF. It's embarrassing when it happens at church.
and you're the pastor, right, Kat?
Oh my. Oh my goodness. Anyway. All right. I love you guys. We both love you so much. Thanks for always tuning in. It's like a big family. It's so much fun. We have so much fun.
And I'm going to ask again, if you have anything that you grew up with, any kind of food that you grew up with, that you can just send me the ingredients. You can send me the full recipe. You can send me the name of the dish, anything you want.
You can just send ingredients and not even tell them what in the world it is and see if I figure it out.
And they don't even have to make sense.
No, they literally don't.
If you've never seen Chopped, just send me.
You can send random.
Stuff. Just remember that.
You can try to throw me into a tailspin.
Just remember that I'm limited to what I can buy down here.
Yeah.
So if I can buy it, I'll buy it. But have fun with it.
Definitely.
No rules.
Definitely.
But it's Jeff at the Salted Pepper. I do check it. Ask George and ask Kat, because I've done their recipes because they send them to me.
Yep.
And I've got another one from George coming in a couple months.
Hey, Joni. I don't know if I said hi to you. And Mare says, thanks for the prayers, everyone. I need them. I'm scared. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to hopefully go back on the comments. But prayers for you, Mare. Definitely. And Craig, good night. I think everybody's ready to say good night. So I'll let Jeff come on over here and say good night to everybody.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week. It's just boring old me for Q&A, but
I won't be here for Q&A.
no, because you work. All right, you gotta. He hates coming on camera with me because I'm so short, and he's not like extremely tall, but he doesn't like that he's just a little bit out of the camera shot, so he's kind of sinking down a little bit. All right, guys, have a great night. We love you. We appreciate you, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the next Tasty Tuesday. Send him emails, flood his inbox, tell him what you want me to make. And we'll see if I can pull it off. I obviously am not making stuffed pork chops again, though. Bye. Good night, Nancy. Good night, Love for Truth. Good night, George. And Gus is saying good night.